Good evening and salutations, my B&B fans. So is that hesitation? Steffi. Steffi is, Steffi's a ballsy one, okay? Steffi's a ballsy one. So after she finds out about Sheila and everything that she was doing, as far as Brooke drinking, um, the reason why she kissed Deacon, all that. And finding out that she is conspiring with Thomas, and realizing that Thomas probably wanted to say something, but Sheila's telling her not, telling him not to. She goes to Finn, and she tells Finn everything, and Finn doesn't really believe it. Like Finn, maybe he's just looking from some, maybe he's looking for an alternative reason. Like he doesn't want to sit there and believe in the worst in her, and he wants to sit there and believe in that, she's gotten better. But I'm like, bro, she literally sat it out from A to B about why Brooke was drinking, the switching of the labels, her downfall, and the fact that, you know what, Steffi doesn't even like Brooke. But finding out what Sheila did was terrible. And he's just like, yeah, um, I got a patient, but we could talk about this more when I get home. That doesn't sound like a vote of confidence. That doesn't sound like you actually believe her. It okay. So she winds up calling Sheila. Well, Sheila was not there talking to Deacon. I'm gonna be honest. I almost felt like Deacon was just not necessary in this episode. As much as I like Deacon, I felt like he wasn't really necessary. But he was there to sit there and lend an ear to Sheila, venting about her issues, the lack of progress that she's making, or the fact that she's gotten, a setback after talking and dealing with Steffi. So after that happens, she's not there drinking at the bar. She gets a call from Steffi, and I'm not gonna lie, the way that Steffi, when she first approached Sheila, she delivered that whole thing perfectly, you know, and she really set Sheila up. As far as, yeah, I know you want to sit there and be back in our lives and, be part of our family and, my children and, get to know Finn more and, he gets to sit there and find out more about his roots. That seems all really good and great. And that's just not going to happen. I was like, damn, damn, Steffi. I am loving that delivery. And, once again, she goes in on her. Now, she was like, "Yo, listen, I'm not doing this. I'm not going. No." So she starts to walk off into the alley, and Steffi grabs her like, "No, I'm not done. I'm not done with you." And I was like, "Whoa, okay. So let me get this straight. You know this woman's history, what she's done, the fact that she shot your mother, and countless other things. She is a sociopath." And you're sitting there telling her, I'm not done with you. Have you been taking Cobra Kai lessons from Deacon? Because I don't see this actually working out in your favor. And there was one point where she confronts her. And I don't exactly remember what Sheila says. But there's a look of fear in Steffi's eyes. Like she's trying to be brave. She's trying to put up a great front. But you can see the fear in her eyes a little bit. I'm like, did you really think this through? Because you had time driving your expensive car on the way to confront a sociopath. And you corner a sociopath in a dark alley. You sat there and I looked at this whole thing and I'm like, you're not exactly really too bright, are you? Your dad let you be CEO or whatever your job title is. I am sitting there questioning that decision because the lack of common sense in this woman to confront a sociopath by herself and chase her into a dark alley. Obviously, I between Thursday and Friday, we can already tell what's going to end up happening. It's just a matter of, does she take a short break and get into a coma, or do they just take her out entirely? Now, I don't think they're going to take her out entirely. Um, you know, come to think about it, throughout the four shows I've been watching, they haven't actually really killed off any major characters lately. They've had characters leave, breaks, or firings, or just voluntarily quitting. But no one, throughout the four shows, no one has actually had a major death in any of the four shows. And Steffi has been on this show for a hell of a long time. I don't think she's going anywhere. Um, that's just my personal opinion. I have not actually read anything or looked up any information. I'm just, you know, my opinion. But the way that this whole thing is building, something's going to happen to Steffi. Um, so it should be interesting. And maybe at some point they'll get back to No Personality Carter, Dingbat Paris, and Overbearing Grace, and whatever sort of mess that they got going on. Now with Brooke and Ridge, I'm gonna be honest. Getting through their scenes lately has been a chore, particularly today, because all Brooke says is, "I don't know what happened. I'm gonna get to the bottom of why I drank." And when you get to the bottom of why you drink, what's gonna happen then? Ridge is just gonna automatically forgive you. You're just gonna go back to the way things were, and happily ever after, right? I mean, this woman honestly, I feel like this woman honestly thinks that if she figures out why she drank in the first place, then it's just going to everything's going to be magically fixed. And while I do understand why she wants to understand the trigger behind her drinking, because she doesn't want to sit there and be that person and drink and stuff like that. I understand that part, but she's acting as though this is going to be some sort of cure all, fix the relationship, and everything is everything. On top of that, Ridge comes across as extremely dense. Um, and it's actually starting to become quite annoying because you got Taylor that is all over you. You're constantly hugging and kissing on Taylor, but you're not sitting there telling Brooke, "Yo, this is done. Um, Taylor's my girl now, and what we had is wrap. Is done. Is done. So it's finished." He's not saying anything. He just sit there. He just keeps saying the same thing over and over again. I want to make sure that you're okay. I want to make sure that you're not drinking. You got to sit there and stop beating yourself up. You should be and you should be proud of the person that you are today and everything that you had accomplished. And it was like, So this idiot didn't sit there and tell her. He still didn't sit there and tell her that it's over, right? I mean, it's almost like either he's incredibly dense or he really is confused and he does not want to sit there and end it with her. Because those are the only two options. He either still wants to be with Brooke or has feelings for Brooke, and um he doesn't want to give up his relationship with her, or he's completely dense. And either way, I feel like that's selfish because now Brooke is having all this hope. She feels that, she's going to get better and they're going to be together. And she keeps saying, we're going to be together and I'm not going to give up on you. And now you have this woman running on a fool's quest to sit there and try to be with you. And you're not sitting there telling her one way or the other. Like, that's a pretty dick move. Um, Thomas and Taylor. I'm going to be honest. This is another scene that I was just like, This isn't really going anywhere. You two people are saying the exact same things that you have been saying for how long? Thomas isn't there talking about how happy he is that, his mom and his dad is back together and you belong together and you make each other happy and blah, 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 blah. And Taylor just recites the same crap at this point. And I'm going to call it crap because she keeps saying that, you know, your dad is still healing and, whatever happens, happens. And, we're just taking it one day at a time. And it's like, sweetheart, are you cool with living in limbo? Because he didn't actually get a divorce yet, and yet you two are just cozying up and cuddling and doing this, that, and the third, and hugging and kissing, and you're still doing that with a married man who doesn't even seem like he's sure if he wants to divorce his wife. But you're supposed to be this great psychologist and psychiatrist or whatever the hell you are, and you're supposed to be able to read people, but yet you haven't been able to read a damn thing since you got there. Sheila has been snowing you since from day one, and you keep sitting there saying, "Oh, she's a fascinating study case, and I'm gonna sit there and be able to read her like a book." Still waiting, Taylor. We're all still waiting. When's that gonna happen? The one thing I do like about this show is that because it's a smaller cast, throughout each episode, that is just more easier to sit there and focus on them. Um, and just pick out some of the stupid things that they do. Don't get me wrong. Not that they're trying to be a negative Nancy or anything like that. There's some positive stuff that they do. I can't really think of anything right now, but I'm sure there's some positive stuff that they do. When I'm watching it. Yep. I feel like that's about it for the most part. So with that being said, I'm gonna go. I want to thank you for watching. Be safe. Let me know your thoughts on the comment section below, and I will see you in the next video.